The Ten Hag era is in full swing, and Man United had just signed a 30-year-old on loan. Come again? If this was a Ralf or Ole signing, there'd be hell to pay for. But this is an Erik Ten Hag signing, Wout Weghorst. Will it be another Ighalo, or will it be more of the Henrik Larsson type inspired loan signing? Well, in this video, we're going to tell you exactly what Erik Ten Hag sees in the monster that is Wout Weghorst, and why he's going to tear it up at Manchester United. Be sure to stick with us until the end, where we logically rate his chances of success at Old Trafford. Here we go. First, who is Wout Weghorst? On the face of it, this isn't a signing that will scream ambition. It's a 30-year-old player who didn't set the world alight playing for Burnley. He scored 2 goals for the Clarets in the side, built to play to the strengths of a physical beast like Wout. Standing at 6'6", he looks like a classic big man. Weghorst's disappointing time at struggling Burnley shouldn't obscure the fact that this is a guy with goals in him. Throughout this Dutch international's career, he has scored goals. He started at FC Emmen, scoring 20 goals in 62 games. Not too shabby for a young player. He then moved up a notch to Ighalo and scored 20 in 64, maintaining a 1-in-3 ratio, which is pretty solid for the big man type. He moved up to a bigger club once again, playing for AZ Alkmaar, where he began to really find his feet in the Eredivisie. At AZ, he banged in 31 goals in 60 games, becoming the mythical 1-in-2 striker. Was he punching down at this point in a weak league position? Perhaps. He then made a move to a Bundesliga side Wolfsburg, where he really shone. He scored 59 goals in 118 games. That brings us to Burnley. Following the Clarets relegation, Weghorst was sent on loan to Besiktas, where he scored 8 in 16. He also had a solid World Cup, playing mainly as an impact player, but he made quite an impact in Holland's quarter-final with Argentina, scoring 2 goals which took the game to penalties. They ultimately lost, however. Now, Weghorst is heading to Manchester United, by far the biggest move of his career. It feels like he's a stopgap. He could well be, but this guy has plenty to offer, which leads us on to his style of play and strengths. When you have a player like Weghorst who stands around 6'6", then it's fair to say he's expected to be a target man. Weghorst certainly does bring that physical presence. He's big, strong, decent in the air, and a good focal point. His physicality causes problems for defenders and makes him a danger in set pieces. He has all those elements you would want in your big unit. However, there is much more to Wout's game than just being a big old slab of ham up top. This fella runs for fun. Though he's not quick, he's very fit. He presses aggressively from the front, driving at opposition defenders. He makes it very difficult for players at the back to settle themselves and find a rhythm. He forces errors and has a good knack for making interceptions. There's an argument that, like a fair few big strikers over the years, Weghorst could make a good emergency centre-half if needs be, or transition into the backline. Chrissy Sutton and Dion Dublin could do the two. Even Emil Heskey had a handful of latter-era games in central defence. That will particularly interest United fans. They want this brick wall scoring goals, and he will do in a decent side. The point is, Weghorst has a great work ethic and never leaves anything on the pitch. He'll work hard and he'll cover plenty of grass. Those natural defensive qualities he has are really useful for the high press where he can defend from the front. He pressed more per game at Burnley than Ronaldo managed in the whole of last season for United. He's exactly the kind of player Ten Hag likes. He's got quality too. He's Dutch, which means he was born with the ability to open a tin of beans with his foot. He's got the touch, baby. He holds it up very well, can link up play, and give defenders plenty to think about. Above all, Weghorst is a good finisher. Are the 2 goals for Burnley a worry? Let's face it, they created nothing last season, and even the usual double figures from Chris Wood didn't come. He left for Newcastle in January with 3 goals in the season for Burnley. Weghorst has a poacher's instinct, and if United's quick counters and pace provide him with the opportunities across the 6-yard line, he'll be there to pounce like an Oranje lion. Why does Erik Ten Hag want him? Look, just to appease United fans, the club could go out and sign a mega profile striker. You know, it worked out really well with Cristiano Ronaldo's return, didn't it? A successful club can't just be about star names and eye-catching statement signings. Cohesion is a massive factor when choosing who to sign. United have their golden boy in Rashford fit and firing and playing with a smile again. They've got Bruno Fernandes looking closer to his best again, and Casemiro came with a big reputation and has more than lived up to that so far. Martial and Rashford both flit between playing wide and through the centre. Ten Hag, in the absence of Ronaldo, has also developed a false nine in games. These are still viable options, but he needed an old-fashioned number 9 to give him another option. An option that didn't bring compromise like C-Ron did. Ten Hag's preferred way of playing is to press aggressively across the pitch with a high line. It all starts from the front. It's been a slow process with some pragmatism in his opening months, but the more they flourish, the more he pushes that line up to get closer to his Ajax model. If you want a target man or focal points, then Weghorst can provide that option without the side needing to sacrifice that front press. Weghorst's mentality is what will most win over United fans. The goal return may not have been great at Burnley, but they always appreciated his work rate. Good sides need the right mentality. United spend so long with ill-suited players and a few bad eggs who ended up poisoning the dressing room under Ralf and Ole. Though Pep might go off and sign whoever he likes for City, Ten Hag is more careful about the attitude and mentality of the players he signs. It all starts on the training ground, in the dressing room, before they all hit the game on match day. To rebuild United means turning them into grafters and ensuring the more eye-catching players have a solid performance to play from. Whether it's only for the 6 months or Weghorst ends up a permanent summer edition, one thing is for certain, he's the perfect signing for what United need now. Right, let's wrap it up and look at the final big question of a Weghorst at United. Will he be a hit at Manchester United? Though Weghorst has the attributes to succeed under Ten Hag, it remains to be seen if he will. It's probably realistic to say that he will be a rotation player. Some games may not require a big 9 outhouse from the start, regarding of the pressing and link-up play he can also bring. It may be that United opt for more pace in some games, but Weghorst is more than likely to do well. He will get chances for a side like United. Fans will love his endeavour and aggression and will reckon he'll score more than they expect to. Can he help United to a top 4 finish? Absolutely. They are looking a decent team now. The players work hard, and certain players who look dead and buried in the United shirt now have a second wind, Rashford in particular. There will be games that just require that extra physical edge, and against sides like City, Weghorst's press could be instrumental in turning over Pep's boys. Likewise, Weghorst in the Holland and Argentina games showed a knack for having a big game impact. With United's running cup tournaments, there are plenty of trophies to play for. There is one thing for sure, and that is Weghorst can and will bully any backline he will come up against. Yes, Weghorst is going to beast it for Man United. It's not a sexy signing, but it's a savvy one. What do you think? Is Weghorst the missing ingredient?